Welcome back to the show. It is the New Orleans Hornets versus the Detroit Pistons right now. Ooh, three-pointer shot by Gordon Hayward. Nice job there, brah. It's the mid-season grades for the Piston players today. We will go through the roster and discuss how they've done this year. Of course, the Pistons have struggled mightily this year with a terrible record. However, there's a sunny side up to every egg, and we'll look at the bright side, and we'll also look at the negatives that plagued the Pistons all season long. Oh, Detroit pissing me off. First off, let's talk about Jalen Duren. Perhaps the largest bright spot of the Pistons' dismal season. A man among boys, the youngest player in the league at 18 years of age. Just turned 19, actually. Started the season at 18. Youngest player of the league at 19. Continues to impress with his effort and physicality, rebounding, and improving defense, although he still gets lost on occasion. Well, actually, he's a rookie. He gets lost quite a bit, but he is becoming better at the lob threat, and he is finishing in traffic and dominating as he gets to lay in there. Nice pass there by Isaiah Stewart, and the Pistons are going to make the Hornets call time out here in the first quarter. So, Jalen Duren, I give him, at this point in time, I'm going to say a B+. Why B+? Why not A-? I was kind of going between B+ and A-, but I go with B+ just because he's really got to develop. He's got a long ways to go to develop any type of mid-range. He's got to have a mid-range in a free throw game. He's got to be knocking down his free throws at least 69%, hopefully 73-5. We'll get there eventually. And then a short little medium-range jumper would be nice now, just to keep the defense honest. Although some might disagree and say, hey, just to be in the paint, a lob threat and a rim runner. I like that to be his primary focus, but he needs to be able to get better from the free throw line and add just a mid-range, a teensy-weensy mid-range jumper, just to kind of keep people honest, all right? Next up on the list, his fellow rookie, Jaden Ivey. Now, in some regards, he's played very well, but at the same time, polar opposites, bipolar at some times this year, has struggled defensively mightily, getting lost, losing his man, getting beaten, and with his type of athletic attributes, I feel like he's only a matter of time if the effort is there, and sometimes I gotta say the effort has not been there on the defensive end. He seems a little bit lackadaisical, out of sorts, and that's gonna have to improve. You shot the ball pretty well from behind the arc, considering you weren't great at that at Purdue. People worried about your shot. It's a rainbow, and it actually goes down at a decent percentage from downtown. He's developing a mid-range game. He still needs to change his speeds a little bit better. Sometimes he's just all too fast, out of control, and that's been a big issue with him. Also, turnovers as a rookie guard, that can be expected, but still no excuse. Here recently, we've seen him as a point guard. He's showing more of a playmaking ability and more of a proclivity to get the assists. So I've been very impressed by Jaden Ivey in a lot of regards. I'm going to give him a B. Almost a B- due to some of the negatives, but he's just been very good, almost averaging 15 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds a game. Pretty gosh darn good for the rookie season. There, Jaden Ivey. He's probably going to make the all-rookie first team, I would assume. Along with, I'm going to make a prediction, I'd say Bennett. Oh, Jalen Duren just with a block on Mason Plumlee. Oh, and it goes out of bounds. It stays with New Orleans, but great effort there on the defensive end by Jalen Duren, making strides. Wow. Nice pass by Lonzo Ball. Plumlee thought he had an easy one, but Duren came up to challenge and got the... Oh, and then he also blocks Gordon Hayward, but they're going to call a foul on Gordon Hayward as Gordon Hayward also challenging the young Duren. And he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Next up on the list, he's been starting the last few games. Alec Burks missed the beginning, about 10-15 games, the first 10 to 15 games, and it really affected the Pistons in the early going. Alec Burks turned this second team into one of the best in the league from being one of the worst in the league. So Alec Burks, he's definitely going to get a great grade from me. He has been just a great shot creator, great getting to the free throw line. I think he's been solid on defense as well. Good playmaker. He's also been one of the more efficient players. So I'm going to give Alex Burks an A-. I think Alex Burks Alec Burks has been one of the better players, and I do not want to see him traded. I do not want to see him traded. If it was going to be one or the other, I'd say trade Bojan over Alec Burks, but I don't really want Bojan to be traded at the moment either unless we get a super haul, which I don't think we're going to get. So, ooh, wow. Terry Rozier with the shot over Duran there. All right, next up on the list, Bojan Bogdanovic. First off, let's get to the negatives. Bojan has been a liability on the defensive end this season. Has turned the ball over in clutch time and sometimes tends to try to do a little too much at the end of games. Too much ISO ball, in my opinion. But I'm going to give him overall an A, because he's been like a 50-40-90 guy. Just a great player. Just a super duper player on offense. Defensively, yes, he's a bit of a liability. And I don't think he matches well with Saddiq Bey out there. So I think they really need to find a more defensive power forward / small forward to play with him. And I don't think they can play those two guys together, as they just got taken to the basket by Lonzo. The LaMelo ball drives past Bojan like he was standing still. Pistons are up 15-12 right now, early in the first quarter. Isaiah Stewart driving. Ooh, lost the handle. Turnover. The last remaining starter of tonight's game, Isaiah Stewart. Checking in the ballgame right now, Killian Hayes and Saddiq Bey. However, right now with Burks and Isaiah Stewart heading to the bench, right now we're going to discuss, like I said, Isaiah Stewart as he heads to the bench. Isaiah Stewart started the season dead hot from three-point land. It's begun to come back down a little bit, shown a few more post moves and ability to drive to the basket. Overall, Isaiah Stewart is one of the better defensive players, but he needs Duran out there. As we've seen, as he's the only center, he gets frustrated because he is overwhelmed inside. He's a little bit undersized in terms of height, but he makes up with some of that brawn inside and his tenacity and effort. I give Isaiah Stewart a B+ on the season. Inbound Ivy over to Bojan Bogdanovic. Bojan coming off the screen from Duran. Duran drives, and Bojan used the screen effectively and got to the cup for the easy lay-in. Great job, Bojan Bogdanovic there. Next up, we've got Killian Killer Hayes, the point guard, who now is coming off the bench. A remarkable improvement from the first 15 games of the season, where he was shooting about 17%. Now we're shooting respectively from three-point land. The best part of his game that he's developed this year has been his mid-range game. Very absolutely fantastic. Good job there, Killian Hayes. Killian Killer Hayes. 6 to 7 assists and 5 rebounds per game to go along with about 12 points a contest here since that dismal start. All right. Next up on the list, it's Saddiq Bey. Hey, baby, hey, baby. Girls say, hey, baby, hey, baby. All right. Saddiq Bey has been up and down this year, as he has been throughout his career. He has struggled to be consistent. He's added different elements to his game, in terms of one being as Aiden drives and he kicks out the Bojan over to Saddiq. Saddiq for three, and he misses. He's been very inconsistent and streaky with this shot, but he's developed an increased ability to get to the foul line, where he has been over 80%, well over 80% from the line there. Nice drive by Bojan. He puts it in. The Pistons lead 19-14. Bojan Bogdanovic. Oh, yeah, baby.
Saddiq Bey, B-.
I really think we need to keep this cat, like I said. I'm not saying he's untouchable, but if they want to throw in a couple first rounders and a young player, hey. But other than that, yeah. Oh, score there by the New Orleans Hornets, 1916. But the young New Orleans Hornets player is injured. Comes up gimpy, number 6. All right, next. Marvin Bagley has been injured for much of the season, but has shown signs of great post play on the offensive end. 3-point shot, not much of a game there. He hasn't taken a lot of shots this year. He's been very selective with that. So I think he played very well on the offensive end, and also as a lob threat. Without Cade Cunningham, he suffered a little bit in terms of not getting the lobs, but just a great interior presence on the offensive end. Defensively, another story. He is a solid block threat at times, but loses his assignments on defense at times. So he's been a liability on defense a little bit less, I would say, than last year. But overall, with the injuries going on, I'm not going to demerit him because of the injuries. I'm going to give him a C+. Next up for the Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Livers, another player hampered by injury for much of the season. Hasn't really played up to the expectations that he was doing in Summer League. Although he has shown flashes and he is a solid contributor, a very athletic player, surprisingly athletic, deserves a C+ for this season, but has struggled to get a rhythm. Next up, Nerlens Noel. This will be short, hasn't played much this year. I'd give him an overall average of C, a solid veteran. Next up, Rodney Magruder. Rodney Magruder goes out there and plays. No, I don't think he needs to be on the team anymore, especially going into next season. We need to bring in some more young talent. So I think Rodney Magruder, though, however, he does his role well, and therefore I do give him a B. Next up, Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, yes, we will grade him, even though he's missed the majority of the season. Was playing very well, averaging over 20 points a contest, 6 rebounds and 6 assists before falling privy to the injury bug due to a microfracture in his shin. Played through a lot of pain this year and still was able to put up decent numbers. Looking forward to his recovery, and hopefully he's back 100% to start next season. Next up, Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox, after a very rocky start to the season, has begun to play quite well in recent memory. Knox, dangerous from three-point land, can also drive and get out in transition. Has showed effort on the defensive end. I give Kevin Knox a C+. Last but not least, good old, what's his name? Yeah, that's right, Hamidou Diallo. The effort has been there all season long for Hamidou Diallo. He has learned to limit his outside shots, and he's really attacked he's good at. Played very well in his backup power forward role. Although he is a bit undersized, he plays very above the range, put in a lot of effort. He's able to get steals, dunks, the minutes around the rim. The Hornets right now have taken a 24-21 lead after the Pistons got off to an early start. The Pistons are struggling at the moment. Being trapped right now is Killian Hayes, and he just threw it away. Turnover by Hayes. And the Hornets are out on the run, 26-21. Well, folks, we'll get back to a recap of this game later. Pistons fans, do me a solid. Smash up that like button. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be reminded when my videos go live. And I'll see you next time on Detroit Piston Me Off.